Bonjour and hello, everybody. You are listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the one and only podcast where every single week we cover everything going on in the world of international drag race spin-offs. And as always, I'm Evan Sawdey from Pop Matters.
I'm Gregory Ellwood from the playlist, and you can read me in the LA Times. Evan, how are you doing on this getting increasingly rainy Tuesday night here in Los Angeles?
Well, Greg, I don't know about you, but for those who have been fans of the show, you may have known that in our coverage of Canada's Drag Race Season 6, one of the queens, Van Goth, decided to comment on a lot of our videos, and at one point turned off. And apparently but came back for the finale, and you know what? A crazy thing happened. We talked about, hey, I don't know if she's ever gonna be on the pod over there. She jumped in the comments, said, let me in. I'm happy to. For those who don't know and who've not maybe seen our channel right now, yeah, we just got off an interview with Van Goth of Drag Race Canada Season 6, the winner. She had a lot to say. She actually had a lot to say. We talked for a good long while. It was, I think, a very good
50
interview.
minutes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And so thank you, Greg, for making that happen. I would say it's one of our must-watch interviews. Truly, more than anything else. Greg, I'm beginning to think we are the drama. Do you ever think about
Did
that?
I make it happen by being too opinionated? Maybe was that what happened?
I
Was it
think listen. Being too opinionated, that's why we've been doing this for over a year. This is why
that's
we've
right.
had the incredible queens come through here, and that's why you, the listener, know full well that at the top of every episode we tell you that in this House of Love we believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online hate. And as American entertainment journalists, we may not get every cultural reference, but we always appreciate corrections. And most importantly, whatever the last thing is. There are some truly great queens who aren't good at Drag Race, and we love and respect them all the same.
And we will
And
endeavor to do whatever we can to show them in the best possible light, just like World of Wonder.
Absolutely. What else can we possibly do? And Greg, oh boy, Drag Race UK versus the World Season 3. Was the first episode a fluke? Was that a fluke?
I don't know if it's a fluke. I gotta be honest. I feel like this season is gonna get wild.
Okay.
And um this was not a great episode, but there was a good lip sync at the end, pretty good.
Yeah.
Some nice, beautiful runway. Great gowns,
Mhm.
beautiful gowns, great runway. Um, but this is not the most UN peaceful, we all love each other cast.
At all.
That
At all. Really? Yeah.
it's making the first couple of episodes of Slajon Royale seem like a kumbaya, which it was definitely not.
Girl.
So
Absolutely. Holy shit.
yeah. But we get a hint of this, Evan, at the beginning of the episode when they come in after last week. And needless to say, this is such a 2019 reference. Sminty is pressed. She is not happy. She blatantly says within literally 60 seconds of them hitting the couch or the edit, that she and Zaharia were in the top, and she's annoyed. Evan, what did you think of this increasingly tense back and forth between her and Mariah and Fontana and Gawdland got involved? Like, what did you think of all this?
So I had this is the part where I have the most notes, which is actually kind of amazing. Because Mariah starts off by telling Only Naomi, "You were lucky to be safe," which was, or noting that she was lucky to be safe. Then it's Minty says that she knows that she and Gawdland have a connection, so there's certainly some good energy and some good vibes that are going on there. And then at that point, Sminty and Zahira note how they're salty about being safe, and notes that Mariah looks like Liza Minnelli got caught at the bottom of a kid's slide, which is a wild thing to say. Holy shit. It is. I don't necessarily think it's wrong, but my God. Before we go any further. Oh yeah, and immediately. Actually, I have to real quick say the one thing immediately back is that Mariah says anything on a skinny person is considered couture. So like, I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. We're kind of iconic right now out the gate. It's a little bit. It's catty, but we're kind of iconic. What were your thoughts on these moments?
I mean, I just was proud of Naomi for saying that Sminty's look was basic. Um,
Uh-huh.
and she was being honest back. Um, I uh, I don't remember who said it, but the line was something like, um, uh, that back end was musty. And did you win or did Melinda just not know the words? Which
Oh God, yeah.
was towards Naomi. That was Sminty back to Naomi. And I was just like, this is not like fun, like we're having fun. This is pointed. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But I will say they come in the next morning after production has talked to them. I'm kidding. Production, of course, has not talked to them, and they you know they sort of calm down a little bit about it.
Real quick, before we jump into that.
There were other more if there were more iconic lines I missed, please.
Oh yes, Sminty saying Fontana's outfit only looked good because it had sickening padding. Uh, I don't necessarily agree about that. And then the other last thing was that Kate Butch, I think is very much playing a ploy when she says, "I'm happy that the other UK girls are catching flack because I don't necessarily want to be part of that." And low key, for a lot of people that still wonder how the US season two winner of Drag Race became the winner of US season two, I'm not sure if you remember, Raven was doing all the dirty fights with all the other queens, and she kind of stayed out of it for a good portion. So there was a lot of drama that was happening. This kind of feels like a similar strategy of like, you all go and bitch. I'm just gonna do my adequate drag over here. So
Uh-huh.
yes, the next morning does happen. They come in and the UK girls, Greg, they apologize. They didn't mean they were heated in the moment, Greg. They didn't mean that. They absolutely fucking meant it. But they're it's okay. They're saving face right now. My God, Greg.
I believe in confessional. Smitty says, I just like to act up a whole bit. Uh,
Right.
which, okay, at least she's self-aware. Like she knows.
Uh-huh.
And that makes for good television. Let's see how it helps her in the long run. But more importantly, we're seeing these divisions where like the queens are seeing Fontana as a threat. They sort of see Gawdland as a threat, but I don't think you're taking her that seriously.
Right.
But you can tell the UK queens are disturbed that they haven't won a challenge yet, or that it's their franchise, and
Right.
they haven't been, they haven't even been in the top. It's been, the international.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so they're 3 episodes in, and they must be. I get it. It's like, and also got to remember they're they're going up against queens they really don't know. Like,
Hmm.
remember, this is the C squad, the B minus squad. Like Sminty and Kate probably knew like one or two queens who came in and did not know the rest. So for them, these other queens to be doing so well, it's got to be a little bit of a slap in the face. It's not like Jimbo came in and you had an iconic season, or you knew who Pangina was, or you knew
Right.
who Lemon was. Like it's a little like awkward.
Yeah. 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 But I think it's the thing where while some strategy might come into play, I think the alliances at this point are just basically kind of silly at this point. There's a little alliance talk that we'll get into first, but not before Mama Ru comes in and has an announcement to make. Greg, what does she announce to the world?
Well, we're not getting Snatch Game of Love. We're not getting whatever that bizarre Snatch Game thing was that they did
Snatch
on
Game Summit.
Summit or whatever it was. We are
Yeah.
getting a Snatch Game pageant, which I just have to say, in concept, when she described it, I was like, this is interesting. It's a grand entrance.
Hmm.
Then it is a question and answer, which I
Hmm.
actually was immediately like, this could be good. This could like let some queens really like, this could be a good thing. And then swimwear, which felt, I don't know how that really works for snatching, but I was open to it. Needless to say, it was better on paper than in execution for a number of reasons. But before we get there, let's the queens learn they're doing this. I'm going to guess they had been given a prompt. It was a different snatch game based on some of the outfits they brought. They may have thought they were still doing some sort of sit down panel snatch game as part of it.
Interacting with each other. Yeah.
They were not, but that's okay. But they sit down and they talk about it, and Gawdland admits about how she did a terrible job on her snatch game, and she's nervous this time around. By the way, that entire snatch game on Drag Race Thailand, you don't need to watch it. It is so bad. That clip is a perfect example of how we wasted 45 minutes of our life watching that episode. And then Minty brings up she was also in the bottom of her snatch game, and she needs to redeem herself. She says in confessionals, "I know I'm quiet, but I know I'm fierce."
Right.
I love the confidence.
And then also it's around this time that Mariah starts asking around a little bit because she goes up to Kate and is just like, "Hey, so what's going on with this UK alliance right now? Because it seems that there might be, I think she had mentioned an alliance and maybe there's something going on, and Kate's not necessarily open to it, but also she just saw the flame war that just happened with the UK girls from the previous episode. So like she might be a little bit okay with distancing herself a little bit just for strategic reasons. So I think some smart moves are being played. Again, this is the first time Mariah's ever been in the top for anything, so respect to you, girl. I appreciate you're playing the game now.
And I have 2 points on this. The first is Kate makes it very clear that she is somewhat she doesn't use the word embarrassed. I'm using this word. She is embarrassed by how her UK sisters are acting. She says this is, a game of international diplomacy. This is not the place to burn bridges. Certainly not 2 episodes in. We'll let
Right.
do that at the end or halfway through when she's going to like send Pangina home. But you don't do that right away when you're the host nation. But then also, I have to say, listen, none of us are. Mariah Balenciaga was not any of our first choices to be the U.S. rep for the season, but she is serving story wise a really important job on the show. She's the most experienced. She's the most experienced not only in the show but in life. She's the oldest, and you can tell, especially in this episode, she's figured out everything that's going on. She's seen all these girls' insecurities. She does not pipe in until she knows it's smart to pipe in and what to say. And she's not poking, but she'll say something that will get on television, get some attention. But she also is like, she sees all their weaknesses. She knows her own. And that is, we have not had an American queen on one of these seasons like this in a long time.
Right.
And
Right.
that is super interesting to me. It's a little actually, it's not the same, but it's why Alyssa got so far on Global because she was
Hmm.
the most experienced per queen in the room and did not play the drama. So I find that interesting. I still think they needed a star so people would watch, but whatever. Um, but more importantly, Rue comes back in, and we
Hmm.
find out when the queens come up to talk to Rue in groups of three, all the characters are going to be. And oh boy, Evan, would you like to
Oh.
tackle this, or would you love me to run down it like you know?
Oh, let me take a little stab at this here real quick. So first off, Naomi, she is going to do a surprising iteration character. She's going to do Hitler's gay brother. Oh, go ahead.
You missed three. You missed.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I don't have the order correct, by all means, please let's go
No,
ahead, jump right into it. Yeah.
I can we do the order I thought was important.
Yes.
But who is Fontana doing, Evan?
So she's doing Carmen Miranda, which makes sense, I think, for the most part. It's a character. I don't think a lot is known about her, but like, okay, there's something to maybe work with on here. Seems like maybe a little bit 2D, maybe 1D, but like, sure, by all means, I think give it a shot.
And she also mentions that she did well on her Snatch game, which I don't remember, and that her Free Britney was a meme. I don't remember that at all
I
either.
don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all. Not at
But
all.
who? Please tell me who is Sahira doing? I'm at a loss.
She's doing Jessica Alves, which initially I heard as Jessica Alba, but no, that's exactly the same. No, but
Puerto
she's a Brazilian British. She's like a television personality, but she's best known for having like crazy facial surgery on here. She's been referred to as like a Ken doll or a Barbie doll or whatnot. So like that's kind of her whole thing. It's basically a plastic surgery nightmare is what she's going for, which is like, oh, okay, sure, sure, why not? Okay, cool.
weird choice. Why do you think Rue's going to think this is fun? I anyway.
Yeah.
But then we get to the shocker of all shockers. Please,
Naomi.
yes.
Naomi decides to do take a little thing because she is German after all. And what do people think of when they think of Germany? Not Lederhosen. No, they're going to think of Hitler and Hitler's gay brother. Listen, listen. It's a swing. She's got to stay away from some of the Hitler parts of it, which makes for a bold character choice. But she doing it. She doing it. And it's the kind of thing where it's like Loki's the thing where it's like, as much as we like try to intellectualize about like they're doing Noel Gallagher, or you're doing this like classic, La Veneno from the past, like in true queer history, sometimes you got to swing broad. And sometimes, listen, there may not be a lot of people that know who Jessica Alba's is, like, oh, I don't know, us, the host of Worldwide Tea, the hit podcast. But for us, it's also the kind of thing where it's like, listen, everyone's going to know that reference pretty quickly. So, bold swing. Love that she's taking swings at this point, honestly, for real.
What was even better was she later justified it, talking about how it, and I'm sorry to get ahead of ourselves, but it is a wild like connection and justification that because of the increasingly right-wing politics and rise of a right-wing party in Germany, that this is an important thing to do to bring this to attention, which I'm glad she talked about it in the workroom, but that has nothing to do with this character. It is not going to
I know.
compensate this at all. But I love that she thinks that. Um,
Yeah, love that.
who's Kate doing, Evan?
She's doing remember after her last season where she did Kate Bush to middling reviews. I thought it was kind of funny. She's doing the literary classic Humpty Dumpty,
Hmm,
who sat on a wall. Uh okay, sure.
it's sort of like a formula that some of the comedy queens in the UK do. They try to do these sort of weird, yeah.
Fairy tale, these public domain characters, these made up characters. Like that's the thing about Snatch Game. It's just becoming increasingly like it's like I'm the gold tooth fairy or whatever. It's like okay, but yeah, that too. So yeah,
Speaking
keep
of
going at that.
generic characters, our girl
Our
Minty.
girl.
Evan, I please explain the detail that never comes up. That is probably the one reason why she did this character.
Oh, you have to be a little bit more specific, but she's not playing a unicorn, Greg. She's playing the unicorn. The unicorn.
Who happens to be straight,
Yeah. Oh, yes. All right. Yes. Straight. Yes. The
which
straight.
never comes up in the rest of the episode. But that's how what she tells Rue. That's the twist. Wink, wink. And Minty girl, I love you. I
You're a danger girl. You're a danger girl. That's all I can say. Whoo! Ha!
but speaking of danger,
Oh, God.
Serena Moreno. Do you remember the name? I wrote it down. I probably butchered it, but do you remember the name of the character she was originally going to do?
Yes, so the original character she was going to do was Marilena Velasco. And I can't say I know much about her outside the fact that she is Marlene Velasco. She is, I think she's an actress. She's been in a lot of classic Spanish films and whatnot, or Mexican films. I don't know a lot about her, but her backup for that was Charo. And of course, Charo has been done by many a queen over the years. I think the most recent one, if not mistaken, was Sugar Cane from Drag Race US season 11. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's been done before, the Charo. So
Also, Charo is one of Rue's favorites and has been on the show
the show, yes.
3 times. Like what? And that's her backup. Also, she's in confessional saying like she's shocked that Rue doesn't know who Marina Velasco is. I'm like, let me tell you, the person interviewing you doesn't know who Marina Velasco is either. Like, so I am increasingly wondering, like, is this the best
Yeah.
Mexico could give in Serena Moreno? No.
No.
Okay. Next is Mariah Balenciaga, and I have to say, this choice, Evan, was super smart. Who
hmm
did Mariah end up deciding to do?
She ended up doing Jackée Harry. That's Jackie with two E's, and she's basically been on the television since the 1980s. She was in a show that I didn't know called 227. Like that's a little bit before my time, but it was one of the true breakthrough, truly black television comedies that existed out there. So that's how she rose to fame. But I know she's been around for a long time. She's a comedian. She's done a lot of stuff, but it was a out of the box choice, but I thought also a very smart choice too.
I thought it was a super smart choice. And if this had been a regular snatch game, she could have. She was so prepared. She could have taken it. Like she
hmm
knew what she was doing. Um, Gawdland is up next, and conveniently timed to this weekend's Super Bowl. Um,
hmm
She's not doing Bad Bunny. She's doing.
Cardi B.
But is she really doing Cardi B?
I don't know. What do you think? Like, it's just. It is. She's making some bold choices, and we've seen Cardi B attempted before. Jada Essence Hall, and of course, let's not forget the iconic Cardi B's nail tech from All Stars 4 by Gia Gunn. Like, there's been so much Cardi B in our lives, but bold choice, bold choice, bold choice. That's all I can
And
say.
Ru asks her, "Are you a Cardi B fan?" And she says no.
Love this fucking wackadoo. Love this fucking wackadoo.
Is
Incredible,
wild.
truly.
Last but not least, Sminty Drop, sort of a little on the nose, doing who?
She's doing the Big Bad Wolf.
Um, and Rue asks her randomly, by the way, while they're at the table, and I thought this was really interesting about whether there's competition between the UK queens. And I was like, where did this come from? What
Hmm.
producer put this in her ear? What were they listening to earlier that made them think maybe we should spice things up a little bit?
Hmm.
I thought that was surprising. Sminty gave a very
Yeah.
diplomatic answer. Uh,
Yeah.
but again, she's also doing a big public domain character like Kate, like Gawdland. This is not what, you know what? We're going to just take a quick timeout, Evan.
Take time out. Time out. Time
For
out.
people listening, Snatch Game is meant to be a celebrity impersonation challenge. It's because drag queens for hundreds of years, not hundreds, 100 years, 40s, 50s, 60s, would do celebrity impressions. It is inherent in many ways. All drag is valid, all drag is different to what many queens do. But we're not, these queens are so afraid of like fucking up and they're so overthinking it that they keep doing these like overthought, like public domain, broad things. All I want to do is make Rue laugh. And Rue said,
Miss Big Feet. Exactly.
but you can make
Cupid.
Jesus, like gay Jesus. Yeah, it's getting, they need to figure out a way to fix this. But the good news is we have two Pussycat dolls who are going to be our judges, Kimberly Wyatt and Ashley Roberts. And I got to tell you, they brought more energy to this.
Bless their hearts. They did an incredible job, truth be told. Yes.
And we should say before we get to the actual challenge, this is when Naomi talked about the rise of the far right. And although, to be honest, I think since they recorded this, which was a year ago, I think that in the recent elections, the far right took a big tumble. So I think Germany is a little more safer than it was before. But to
Mhm.
be fair, there has been a rise of actually far right groups actually now in South America, which is a whole other thing that I'm sure we will see in future Latin American seasons. Anyway,
Yes. Anyway.
um, so up first, Evan, is the intros, and I'm going to be honest. I thought for a minute this was the Q&A. I got very confused.
Yes, yes, because they all need to make a statement while they introduce themselves, and there's not a lot of difference between this and the later segments. Just a very confusing. It's a very confusing mess, Greg. And again, I would like to point out, and not to get ahead of ourselves here, but I think one of the strengths of the Snatch Game has always been the interaction with people, the back and forth. And when you isolate them out like this and leave them to their own devices, I think you lose a little bit something special. That's just me. Let's continue.
Um, I'm just going to run through these really quick.
Please, please.
I thought that the costume was fine, but that Kate's Humpty, I wrote like it didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember.
She's not delivering a great season so far. I gotta be fully honest. Yeah.
Far, but she's staying safe. Um,
Yep.
Jackée by Mariah. If you've ever seen Jackée Harry in anything or seen her online she's got the impersonation down. Again, I actually feel bad for Mariah. She could have killed this in a regular Snatch Game. Um, Rue laughs at Jessica Alba's. I don't get it. I don't. I didn't laugh at all. I didn't think the Pussycat Dolls either. Did you think like it was bad and fake makeup, like prosthetic shit? Yeah, it was bad.
She just looked disturbing the entire time. That was the only takeaway they had from it. I barely remember a word that came out of her, right, if I'm so real.
Um, I actually thought Fontana's Carmen Miranda was pretty good. It was cute. Was it funny? No, but I thought she was embodying a character more than some of the other queens were.
Yeah, it was a little one note. I'll fully admit to that, absolutely. But she did everything that you expect of it. It's just that's all I got. And so like it for me, it felt like a safe-ish performance, if I'm being so real.
Um, so here's my thing on Sminty's Big Bad Wolf. So she has some very funny lines. She's
Hmm.
basically doing like a oh my God, not a Jersey girl, but what do they call it in like where Cheryl Hole's from? Like
Essex?
Essex. She's basically doing like an Essex girl as a big
Yeah.
bad wolf. She's like, you can just call me Chelsea, and like the girls laugh, like the Pussycat Dolls girls laugh. But she was badly mic'd. So it was sometimes a little hard to hear what she was saying. But I think in front of Rue and the two judges, they heard it better. And that's why they're laughing a little bit more than we would. I thought it was strange. It was not, yeah, it wasn't the best miking. But did you think she was funny? What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was the kind of thing where like and I mean this with absolute kindness. She was funny enough. I thought she did like this good job where like there was light jokes, there was patter over here. It definitely felt like I'm not sure if I'd see this at a bar. Like it seems like it's fine. Like it's just it seems acceptable. But she hit the right notes, and it's the kind of thing where maybe if you're the best designer in a room and no one else can design, and you win all those design challenges, that's one thing. This felt like a pretty average, okay performance, and I think because of that, it did better than a lot of the other ones. So that's kind of how I felt about the result.
Something that did not make me laugh and immediately made me feel somewhat uncomfortable was Minty's unicorn. And all I can say is they got in and out of this edit so quick, so much worse. Um, Thoughts?
What thoughts? What thoughts are there? It was just like it's that painful thing when you see a joke not land in a public setting so painfully, and then there's that awkward pause that just hangs there, but they have to keep going with it. To her credit, she kept going with it, but it was so bad, Greg. It was so fucking bad. It was yeah. It was not good, not good.
On the flip side, Gawdland came out playing herself. I'm sorry, Cardi B, and she was funny. Like she made Rue laugh. She made the judges laugh. I giggled. I don't think Cardi B thinks it's her.
I think there's a lot of more vocal fry than I remember on Cardi B. I think that was a pretty pretty prominent on there. But she did. I thought it was like a solid job, but also it's the kind of thing you could talk about the accuracy. You could talk about whether she truly embodied the character. Sorry, she was the fucking funniest out of everyone. Like she leaned hard to that personality, and it absolutely works. So I was not mad.
Um, Serena's Charo. Listen, uh, she she at least knew how to do the character. She sort of made it work. It's clear that costume was for the other actress she was playing. Asks at one point asks about it. Um, I thought it was okay. Could have been worse, I guess. Like, what did you?
Uh-huh. It was fine. Like again, I think as I said before, like it was fine. It was acceptable. Like it was not necessarily gut busting funny. But then again, it's the kind of thing where at the end of the day, Greg, if I'm just being so real, this wasn't a good Snatch Game, and I'm not sure if the truth be told, as much as I love them experimenting with the format, I don't know if the format would have helped. Like if seeing them together in this, like maybe it would have led to a couple more interactions or things. I just didn't feel like it was super consistent or bonus. Yeah.
I will say we need to round up that Gerard H.
Hmm.
Hitler's brother comes out, and it's a swing. And I actually think for the most part, Naomi pulls it off. Like
Yeah.
again, there's some weird sound issues. You can't 100% hear what she's always saying. Like this
Hmm.
feels a little off a little bit. But she's got planned jokes. She's got bits. Rule. There's a little discomfort at first, but once everyone gets what it is, she sort of laughs. Again, this character would have worked so much better in a traditional Snatch game.
Yes, that more than anything else, 100%. Yes. See them interact with Cardi B, that I would have paid money for. Like that would have been great. Yeah.
I did write in all caps after this week overall.
Yeah.
Like, just week.
Just not It was just so frustrating too because, and so we're basically pick up this remnants. They basically did Snatch monologues at this point, or which kind of is what the weak point of Snatch Game the Rusical from Canada versus the World season 2 was, where they just there wasn't the interaction or the things that you normally expect. So it just kind of it just kind of self defeated.
And now it's time for the swimsuit. Oh no, I'm sorry, Evan. We still have to do the Q&A. That wasn't the Q&A. Um, Listen, I just have some highlights. We don't need to go through every single person.
You have highlights.
I do have some highlights. Uh, Please stop me if these are too spoilers for you. I did think that Cardi B's lotion for my dry ass titties was
I mean, let's be real. That was the best answer out of
um,
anything. That was the best answer out of anything. Yes.
best answer out of everything. Alan loved it. We learned later on. And listen, we immediately discover that Rue is not going to do Charo's coochie coochie dance.
Hmm.
Nope. Uh-uh. Um, Jackée Harry had a great line. Mariah had a great line. You can't start a war with no bullets.
Uh-huh.
Made me laugh. Um, we actually get Cardi twice. She's the only person they go back to, which was
Hmm.
um
Telling.
telling. But that's really all I had, except that Fontana looked great. Like that was, that her Carmen looked great. And that when they came out in the swimsuit, to get ahead of ourselves, uh,
Uh-huh.
Naomi sort of killed it with this big bush, sort of like bathing suit sort of thing. Um,
And this whole chest hair moment and all this other things that's going on, like it works. It works well. It works
she
well.
committed. Like she
Yeah,
in this, for how bad this was, she definitely deserved to be high, as she eventually was. Um,
100%.
but more importantly, Evan, unless you had any other highlights, and I don't want to stop you.
No, it's hold me back, Greg. Hold me back. I have more highlight. I don't. I don't. Absolutely.
Who is the winner of this pageant?
Wait, I forgot actually.
How can you forget? Rue keeps crowning her every UK season.
Oh yes, of course. How could I forget? Oh my God, it is the one, it is the only, it is Raven. Of course. How could we forget? We are letting it be known our feelings about season 2, no matter what defamation lawsuit is being filed against her. And I love, which by the way, the excerpts of the lawsuit I love are just like she posted a video of me slapping me, and that caused a lot of hate. It's just like, girl, what's the fucking context? Why did she do it? Duck chasing me. Like it's just like, come on, girl. Anyways. Yes. Congrats to Raven yet again for winning.
I don't even remember what they talk about in the workroom between I don't really care. But
There, I
please.
have two things for that. Yes. I don't remember the exact context, but Minty gives another banger of an all-timer quote, which is, "If there's no delusion, there's no drag." And you know what? You know what, baby? 100%. Mark, put that shit in gold. Like that,
Put it
carve
on a
that in
t-shirt.
stone. Absolutely. Girl, merchandise right there. And then when talking about that was your last time, first high placement ever, Mariah calls Zahira the Mariah Encyclopedia. So there's also that is if there's anything Zahira is here for, it's reminding us of Mariah's accomplishments throughout the season. Thank you, Zahira, for that valuable public service.
Is this also the only time we sort of get the Zahira from Mariah?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he does it this week. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so more importantly, though, we get to the runway. Rue
Oh
comes
God.
out in this pink lavender wig that completely matches the pink
Mhm.
lavender on her striped green dress. Um, I didn't love the cut of the dress, but the color combo was beautiful. I thought she looked
Mhm.
great. And our guest judge, the angel of my dreams, who I
Uh-huh.
recently saw live at the Hollywood Palladium, who is incredible and amazing. Maybe the lineup of how she does her songs is not always great, but it's fine. Maybe we could have used a little mix, but she was amazing. It's Jade. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Rue asks her, has she ever won a pageant before? And she says she won X Factor, but we don't talk about that anymore. The drama
Love
there
that.
is like a Real Housewives. Um,
Uh-huh.
any thoughts on Alan, the amazing Michelle, who looked also fantastic, Rue or Jade on the panel?
They all look good, and also low key is the kind of thing where Jade, let's not forget, has been a guest judge before. She was on season 1 on episode 5. She was the one because I Because I remember very specifically where the Blue Hydrangea has her horse runway where she's on the head. It's just like, I don't know. I thought I could use a little bit more from her. And then Michelle says, she had a horse on her head, Jade. And she says, no, Michelle, I understand. You might be correct there, or something like that. Like, it was very, very funny moment. So she's a fan. She's an ally. We love her. Lip Service, one of the best pop albums of the year. Let's be so real with ourselves. So good on her. I thought it was great.
Love her. The runway category is, I love the title of this. Let them
Mhm.
cape. Up first is Minty Fresh, giving fairy realness. I didn't love this. Did you like it, Evan?
Greg, I'm glad you liked the title of this runway because ultimately I did not like this fucking runway. And it's the kind of thing where it's like not to be that guy. I think episode one of UK Versus would have been of a misnomer this season because, like, low key, this category, it seems like an obvious thing. Like, there's so many things you can do with capes, and yet no. And the thing about this look was that there was just, it's the thing where you see it multiple times where there's just no shape to it. Where we have all of these like structurey things over here and like the focus is the bodice. Like she has all these frilly things in the back of her. The makeup is incredible. The hair is incredible, but like I'm not getting cape. Like again, can you look at a photo of this and determine what the category was? Could you know it was cape? Not in this instance. I would get sea creature or something on here. So lovely, little shapeless, a little bit could have been tighter, but like it does its job, I guess, kind of, sort of. Yeah.
You know what? You are absolutely correct. There's maybe one or two of these entire runways that say that this would be a cape runway. You don't really get it. I will say, Sminty, who is up next, um, again, I actually love this look. It's super creative.
Hmm.
It's hard to surprise on Drag Race, and she did. Especially, she knew what she was doing. She came out and she turned a certain way to do the reveal. Um, it's basically a side veil, like on half the face and half the body. Um, I would not have gotten cape, but it's beautiful, and I thought she looked incredible. I don't know if I loved the exposed. She loves black and white. I don't know if I loved the complete white. Maybe I would have wanted some.
Girl, that's exactly what I had in my notes. I was getting sugar and spice from Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever movie, starring Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones. When Kate remember that Drew Barrymore was Spice. They had the whole split room kind of. That was the vibe I was getting a little bit on there. But that's literally what I wrote down. The black to white transition. The white was almost too harsh. If it was like an eggshell, if it was like a light gray or something like that, I think it would have had a little bit more like something to it because otherwise it was just such a harsh jut. Yeah.
It needed more detail. It needed to
Yeah.
not just be flat. It needed like thin blue, like detailed lines in it, or something to give it more struck. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But Rue says it's gorgeous, and she looks incredible, like
Hmm.
absolutely fantastic. But again, never in a million years would I have thought this was Kate. Speaking of never in a million years think this was Kate, Serena Moreno, girl, go home. This was so bad. She even admits it later on in the uh like in the workroom. Can you describe this Saint Holy Dead, whatever this look was?
So imagine, if you will, bare legs. Let's start there. Two, and it's a bodysuit, by the way. Two, let's imagine a crumpled paper crown, or at least some sort of equivalent of it. It looks terrible to match the crumpled paper ribs over a very thin white bodice. Like there's ruffles behind her. I don't get fucking cape out of this. Like this looks like safe in a design challenge, and that's being generous to the design challenge. Like this is Van Gogh wouldn't make this shit. Let's be so real. Like this is it's bad, Greg. And the makeup, oh God, the makeup, Greg. You're doing skull face, and this is the kind of thing where if you think about classics like Jinx Monsoon on the original US season 5, which she did her Day of the Dead, she did the white against the black harsh light, and instead we have black eyes and then just kind of these wimpy little fucking skull teeth things, and it just looks bad. It's so bad. It's I was really rooting for her in that first episode. That enthusiasm has got Turd City. Girl, yeah.
Says she knows she looks like a whale or a dolphin or something. Like bad. But it's time. It's that time of the episode. Every episode we have a moment where Evan's favorite phrase comes out, and Mariah Balenciaga. Evan, please indulge us. What is Mariah wearing? She's wearing
A shower cap. No, she's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me be real. No, she's wearing a fitted sheet. No, I'm sorry. That's also not correct. This. I guess she's wearing something from her drag closet, but even then, that's too generous, Greg. That's too generous for whatever the fuck is happening here. Like, what is this cape? It looks like a fitted sheet. Like, the judges clock it, and I don't think they're wrong. Like, there's no drama to something that scrunches up behind you. Like, it's scrotal. That's the best word I have for it. It's just bad to this basic ass generic 80s girl bodysuit. Like, truly any good momentum she had out of Snatch Game immediately quashed with this fucking runway. Just bleh. Oh, I hated it. What did you think?
I mean, this is such drag closet. She has worn this at least 300 times around Southern California.
Oh God.
This has
Yeah.
gone from the Inland Empire to Palm Springs to Long Beach to San Diego, back up to WeHo to 20 million Hamburger Mary's drag brunches. She has worn this so many times. And she then put that terrible cape on it. She's literally coming up with references. I can see in her mind, she's like, this is a sort of vanity from the 90s. Like she's just making it up.
Almost, maybe. Like it's such a stretch, right? Exactly. But it's honestly it's giving the spirit of Jujubee from UK season one
Yes.
when she had the shittiest fucking runway package potentially of all time, where she just showed up. Girl, oh my God, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad.
You know what? That was so shitty. It was iconic. We are not at that level here.
Not at all.
Speaking of not at iconic, Kate Butch comes out letting us all know that she's made this outfit. And here's the thing, I give her credit for making it. Absolutely, congratulations. I don't know if I would have had the time to make this myself. But it also looks like about five other things she's worn before. I feel like I've seen this look 20 million times on UK. I feel like I've seen Lawrence Chaney wear this. I've seen a whole bunch of queens wear something like this. And here's the thing, she's very proud of this cape. She thinks it's jaw dropping, but it's not jaw dropping enough for that dress that is like surrounding it to be so short and simple. Like it doesn't flatter the cape. Like yeah.
It looks like when we were clocking Melinda Verga. By the way, for those again who haven't listened, please listen to our incredible interview that Greg did with Melinda Verga from the other week. It's incredible. It's on the YouTube channel. But it just kind of looks like Melinda Verga's like a redo that she did of her Vivienne Westwood inspired look. Like it's just so muted and so great. She's going for Sherlock Holmes on here, and like okay, sure, you can make a little cape moment out of it. Again, don't get cape out of this. And honestly, the brown toes that she has, I love that she made it. It feels muted. It feels unimaginative. It doesn't feel drag. Like that's the thing. Like I get drag out of the makeup. It's the kind of thing where it just feels. I don't want to say costumey because it's not fully in that direction over there. But the fact that I'm even bringing it up kind of says that it just feels generic. Like I just it's she we the audience deserve better. I'm so sorry. We're on the third season of UK versus the world. This is not stepping up.
Agreed. I will see the last four of this runway were pretty good and some were pretty great.
Yeah.
Listen, I love my Mykonos. I love my Athens. I love my Greek islands. The Only Naomi comes out in a Greek god in Greek goddess realness. It's simple, but it's effective.
Yes.
I did get that it was cape. I didn't understand why she even needed this like um bone choker skin.
Yeah.
Didn't understand
Yeah.
it distracted like a big time.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why that was there. Um, but the rest of the look was great. Also, this is when we start getting fun lines from Jade, who randomly says, "Clean up on aisle whore," which I laughed. Michelle laughed. Alan laughed. What did you think of the Only Naomi's look?
I kind of the same thing where it's just like first off, thank God because it's after everything else here that we see, we finally need something with a little bit more punch to it. But again, it's so minimal. I'm not sure if I'd even call this like iconic, but like to see basic competence and to see someone actually meet the fucking prompt, that's a win by itself at this point, baby. I'll take whatever I can get. It is above the rest at the moment. Yes.
Up next, do I actually might this might actually be the bet arguably the best look of the entire like runway. Zahira's look didn't give cape, but I thought it was fierce. Like I thought it was like incredibly well made. I loved her makeup. I loved her hair. I didn't really get cape from it, but as a look, I thought it was pretty awesome. You did not agree.
That is love that for you. Love that for you, but not for me, Poe. Uh, it was fine. I think the biggest thing about it is that she's trying to do this gender bendy thing with it, and it just there's no focal point. Like she has this little Z thing on her chest. She has this nice little like tight white wrap over here, and then jutting out of it is this black and white, almost referee style kind of thing that just kind of sits there. And I think the thing about that, like, okay, cool, like there's ideas in play. She has a cane, but then she has this wispy, shitty ass fucking little mustache that she just basically has like spirit gummed onto her face, and it doesn't read mustache to me. Like it reads like strand of hair that she pulled together. Like it feels like almost like an afterthought, which is so strange because I feel like she could do better, but also it's the kind of thing where I will always remember Greg talking about Alyssa Hunter on All Stars 10 in the US when it's just like, girl, why was I rooting for you? I thought you had something and I was wrong. And it's the kind of thing where it's like, it's a Hyro, maybe not my first choice on here, but it's like, you know what, girl, let's do it. Let's see what else you got. And it's just kind of like, oh, but anyway, that's just me. Greg and I, again, the strength of this podcast, Greg and I have differing opinions, so that is totally understood and okay. Yeah.
No, I don't love facial hair and I don't love mustaches. Like I still think, I will go to my grave saying that page three lost because she had that horrible mustache on in her lip sync.
Uh-huh.
See her lip syncing. You can see her lips moving or her lip sync. Um, but I thought it worked. But I think we would probably agree, as did Michelle Visage, that Fontana's pink sparkly bow look, which is, I guess, inspired by Sailor Moon. I'm going to be really honest. I've never really understood Sailor Moon. I don't know many of the references. I thought it was super, super pretty. Like, it's not groundbreaking, but Cam Hugh would love this.
Girl,
I,
girl, times a million, 100%. Yes.
it fit, it worked. It's not a cape because it's a bow again, but it's beautiful. And I thought it was stunning. What did you think? I actually wanted her to
Uh,
think in this.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's like, it was just elevated. It just felt that's what we kind of came here for. It's the kind of thing where, again, do I get Cape? Kinda. I'm not sure if I fully would have gotten that from there, but it still looks like rich. It looks decadent, and I think more than anything else, more than almost any runway we've seen prior to this point, it gives me drag. It gives me drag. Like I got drag out of Mariah, but I got brunch drag. This feels like the kind of drag that you go to fucking UK versus the world to expect. So that's what I respected about this look more than anything else, truth be told.
Speaking of another look that definitely gave drag and definitely I respected was Gawdland with a Siam fighting fish Thai flag inspired look. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure this was originally made for this. It probably was
Hmm.
constituted for something else, but I don't really care because it fit the brief and it's great. Um, I thought she looked beautiful in it, and it was a gigantic cape, so you can't be mad at it, anybody.
I know, at long fucking last. Like, oh my God. But yeah, it's just it was great. It was fantastic. Again, I agree with you. Not the best thing that we saw on this runway this week, but it was just well done. It was just impactful, and it low key is the kind of thing where next to this, and I'll also say Fontana's look, it's like. Where the fuck are the rest of you girls doing? Like, I understand sometimes the material isn't working there. Some are more inspired for other runways than the other, but it's just like, come the fuck on. Like she came. The thing is that I it was not on my radar at all because again, if you remember, it was the first season Greg and I covered end to end when we started this fucking podcast, so we have a lot of feelings about Thailand season 3. But I will say she came here to win. More than any of these other girls, she fucking came here to win and is proving it. And I'm shocked. Yes, Greg, go ahead.
Fontana has also come to win.
I
Fontana,
would agree.
big time.
I would agree. Yeah.
The rest of the girls, I'm increasingly skeptical that they thought they had a shot. But also, I get it. Like, you're going to UK versus the world. You're like, the BBC is going to pick the British queen. Like, you're only going to
Yeah.
go so far. Once again, Jade also says, "Angel of my wet dreams" to
Yes.
Godland's look. But more importantly, Evan, there are going to be three safe queens. Who are they? And do you agree or disagree?
So first off, Zahira. Sure. I will, whatever say to that. Kate Bush once again avoids the axe, so we can at least give her credit for that. And then, of course, last but not least, and I don't know if I disagree with it, but it might be due to the runway, Mariah Paris Balenciaga. So that is
I thought the runway was the reason why. Like if she had had
Yeah,
a better runway, she could have been high.
absolutely. So that leaves our tops to be Sminty, the Only Naomi, and Gawdland, and our bottoms to be Serena, Minty, and Fontana. Greg, what did you think about the deliberations?
I didn't understand some of the criticism that Fontana was getting. Like that was
Mm,
the only thing that popped to me. I also did think that Serena was fighting in any way possible with Rue to like make her laugh. Minty was too. I think they saw the writing on the wall and were like, "What?" And also, I thought Rue was giving them olive branches to like convince me, like, or convince your sisters like why you should stay, which you don't get a lot, even on All-Star seasons in these deliberations, which I thought was really interesting. Rue was in a very giving mood with this cast. Um, but for the most part, I was like, okay, this is what I thought. I mean, I wasn't surprised by the bottom three, and I wasn't surprised by who won.
yeah, I will say there was that great moment on stage when Serena's like, Rue, why aren't you laughing? And then she says, well, if you said that during the thing, I probably would have laughed. Ah, dang. Like I thought that was a cute little moment there. But yeah, it's hard to disagree. Again, we're picking out like the best we can out of what was ultimately a very weak challenge, if we're being so real.
And so were they. But
Yeah.
anyway, Gawdland wins. Sminty has a look on her face that I've seen many times before from queens who are disappointed who thought they were going to win. Um, but Sminty and Naomi are safe. Naomi is high, so she's probably very happy that she's high. Sminty is also high. And that means our bottoms are Serena Morena, Minty Fresh, and Fontana. And Fontana, I think, is plucked. I don't think Fontana thought she would be in the bottom. I didn't think she deserved. She should have been safe to me. I would have had. I probably would have had Zahira in the bottom. To be honest,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
understand.
agree. Maybe
Um,
the runway saved her ultimately. And also for the record, this is only Naomi's first ever top placement that
yeah.
she ever had. I thought that was pretty dope.
We're by the way, we're at that point where queens are celebrating top placements as opposed to even wins. That's where we.
Listen. There are some people reputations. They might own. Some people only know some of these queens through Drag Race. So I guess some of this stuff is important to them. So I understand to a degree. But at least this isn't way back on season 15 when we had queens Lucy LaDuca counting like, well, I was second place, and it's just like all of that kind of bullshit. We're
Oh my
not their
god! I
point, but
forgot
you
about
know
that.
that. Oh my God, girl, exactly. So, anyways.
More importantly, they go back to the workroom, and the three queens are sort of like I don't even think they said anything coherent to like try outside of Fontana being like I've been in the I won a challenge and I've been high, like why would you make me lip sync? I don't deserve to be here.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think Minty and Serena said anything that like pled their case. Like did I miss something?
Right. Well, Minty explicitly acknowledges the fact that she's already received the Chippy Tea. So she fully is cognizant of the fact that it's probably not going to happen for her. And you know what? Credit to her. I understand. I think that's actually kind of the way maybe to play it of just like, listen, you don't have to save me a second time. I can fight this on my own thing. But yeah, it was really more distracted by the whole vomit bucket thing because that obviously did happen for Sweet Girl Fontana. She wasn't lying when she talked about it. It was got to come up in the narrative. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of good please, I'd say.
No. And Godland's being a little I don't want to she's being a little strange about it to me, like in the workroom. But
Mhm.
they go back on stage. We will not withhold the drama any longer than it needs to be because everyone is shocked when Godland saves Serena Moreno. Literally shocked. We're going to talk at the end of the episode about the repercussions of all of this that have happened over the last 12 hours.
I'm so curious. I
Um,
don't know anything. I'm ignorant. Yeah.
no. And all I could write is I still don't to this moment. I do not understand why she saved Serena, and because she was terrible. It makes no sense outside of just wanting to potentially send a competition home in Fontana. But this isn't like being on a US All Star season where you're like have a lipstick and you can send someone home. You're still making them fight. So why do this? And we'll get to it later. But so anyway, the lip sync is Fontana, who is gobsmacked, who did not think she'd be in the bottom. Lip syncing against Minty to Angel of My Dreams, which both queens know very well. And before the lip sync begins, Jade brings up she's super excited because she literally wrote the song with Drag Race in mind, which, bless, love that.
Props to you, mama. Yeah.
What did you think of the lip sync?
I thought this was pretty even. I thought this is like surprisingly well paced on here. I don't think it was a blowout. I don't think it was a spectacular. And also, the thing I was kind of realizing too is that in UK versus, we've gotten some fucking iconic lip syncs already. We've had Pangina Heels just destroy everything, and of course the iconic Venga Boys one with Janie Jackée. We had all of UK season two where Marina Summers and LeGrand Dame are just out stunting each other. We had Release Me, and so far, like in this thing that we've had right here, we haven't had anything even remotely close at
I
all. And this is good, but it's just this is unfortunately the B Squad allegations do continue. It was fine. It was acceptable. Minty I thought was giving a lot of just like presence, and I felt like Big Fontana has access to the facial things that you need to do to try and sell something that is this tone and pace shifting throughout. So I thought if you wanted to make a case for either one of them winning, I think either case would be valid personally.
I don't know how you could have said that Minty won it unless there was an edit that showed that Fontana was rougher. I thought Fontana was fighting for it. And I thought Minty was giving a cool, calm, collected performance. Nothing flashy. She knew the words. She emoted them.
Hmm.
She can with how she. I mean, she's not a big emoter. And I thought it was a classy lip sync from her, but I thought Fontana had more fire to her. Did she need to do two tumbles or three tumbles as opposed to just one? Probably not. But I still thought it was my eye went to her more, and at the end, my eye went to her way more than it did to Minty. I would have been shocked if Fontana went home, and people probably would be more upset if she did. Um,
Yeah.
but we learn that that Rue picks Fontana, Shantae, you stay. Minty is going home, and Fontana, when she realizes she is safe, collapses on stage. She was so scared she was going home. And to be honest, I'm telling you right now, there is no way Fontana is winning after this moment because
Yeah.
the look on Rue's face was like, "This is not what you do. This is too much." I think Fontana will look back on this and regret like how she reacted at this moment. It was being honest. I didn't feel it was performative at all. I think she was literally feeling this. Um,
Hmm.
but the minute she did this, I was like, "Oh, girl, you can't win. You're
Yeah.
who's not going to crown this." What did
Yeah.
you?
It was a little disappointing because, like, yeah, I agree that it wasn't the best lip sync in the world. Again, it wasn't like a bad one. I don't think it was like a double fucking sent home one, but I don't know. It was the kind of thing where I was just more than anything else just shocked for my girl Minty because, like, I mean, I knew performance challenges weren't going to be her strong suit as we saw, kind of saw previously on Philippines, so I kind of knew that going into it. But at the same time, it's like to have that immediately happen after Melinda Virgo, like it just felt like damn, like some of the people that you got really excited about are just out the game over here. Now, it's also the kind of thing where I feel a little bit bad too, because as we know, Philippines Station Royale, one of the best seasons that we saw in all of last year. One of maybe in conversation for maybe one of the best seasons of all time. Not the best, as Greg and I have discussed before, but it was really good. And it just kind of feels bad because when our Philippine queens come out of this show and go elsewhere, right now you have to live up to Marina Summers in terms of representation for the Philippine season. And that is a high bar to pass. And I love my girl Evelyn Queen. And I thought she did a good job. And I think she may have got shortchanged a little bit. But here with like Minty, it's like, girl, I don't think you got shortchanged. I think you saw what you needed to see out there. And it's just kind of like I felt like she at least had like one or two more episodes in her, if anything, at least for the fashion part of it alone. But it just kind of was like and she seemed a little bitter on her exit too. And like I kind of don't blame her, but also like I don't know what else I would have done in that situation, right? Aside from not save Serena Morena.
I mean, I think Serena should have gone home. I will say, when they shot this, they knew
Yeah.
they were doing Slation Royale, and I think the Philippines producers knew something that we didn't know. I think they told Minty to do this, that they knew she wouldn't last long on Slation Royale, and that she probably
Yeah.
had a better shot here, and that they may have done her, they may have thought they were doing her a favor by sending her to the UK. Do you think this version of Minty Fresh would have done better than Bernie on Slation Royale?
I don't know. Like that's the thing where I think it's a slightly different environment, so I can't really say, but like I don't think she would have won in either case. So her coming back, I think there was important need to kind of prove that she's above some of the drama that happened in her season. I think there's that. So and I think she did do that. She at least showed that she is at least approachable, at least she's fashiony. Like I think she kind of did those kinds of things, but it just I don't know. It was a rough situation to be in, and I'm not sure what other outcome we would have really expected from this personally.
So since this episode has ended, Gawdland has gotten a ton of hate from Brazilian fans because Fontana was in the bottom and because she didn't save her. And Gawdland has already gone on social media and said, listen, I realized a long time ago I made a big mistake. She admitted this. I almost brought this up actually. If you watch our conversation with Van,
Yeah.
Gogh, I was going to ask Van Gogh about this. Gawdland admits she was trying to make good TV, and that's why she did it, and that she wishes she hadn't. She may also be getting hate from Philippines fans too. She also posted about how she and Minty have become super close since. Remember, they shot this a year ago, and Gawdland
Hmm.
has performed many times since in Manila, sort of giving away she was going to be on the seat. Like if you were paying any attention, you were like,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it is intense. So listen, the show may not be being watched by hardcore fans in the UK, but it's certainly being watched by Asian fans around the world on World of Wonder and
Hmm.
and Brazilian fans, and they were not happy. And by the way, I love the Brazilian fans going hardcore for Fontana. She has not lived in Brazil for 10 years.
Right.
Like bless. Like there's other things to root for, like down the road. But yeah, it's been a little intense. I'm curious to see what the repercussions are of the next week. Fontana has not said anything. It's also, by the way, we're recording this at they're just getting up in Europe like right now. Gawdland's been up
Right.
like yeah, it's basically a couple hours earlier there than it is here in Thailand. So yeah, sort of crazy. Things not probably the reaction that any of them thought. I guess the only silver lining you can say is at least somebody cares and somebody's watching, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. At least we got that going for us. Like it's at the same time, like I'm still happy that the season's happening over here. I will say that I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more impactful at this point. But hey, we're only 3 episodes in. We've seen seasons come back and recover and whatnot. You never know what's going to happen. But I think it's 1 out of 3 for me so far, personally.
if you had, I knew this, but you didn't know
Yeah.
this beforehand. You never in a million years probably would have thought Godland would have 2 badges by the end of 3 episodes. You would have,
Nope. Nope.
if she was high once, I would have been thrilled, right?
Would
Like,
have lost that bet on Polymarket. Rest
yeah,
assured, 100%. Yes, 100%. So good on her, though. Like, again, all stars, break the narrative. She is breaking the fucking narrative. Rest assured.
listen,
Yeah.
only Naomi is kicking Tessa Testicles.
Yeah.
She's proving that the German queens we knew was a great season, were highly underrated. And Fontana is serving Sweden as a top 2 finalist in her Sweden season. Fantastic. So you can't knock that. It's the British queens who are not really delivering. But
Yeah.
let's see what happens in the weeks ahead.
Well, and also not to correct the record too much, but let's not forget that in her season, Testa Testicle did win one challenge of Global All Stars, so she at least has that going for her. But only Naomi, I know I got faith in you, girl. You could do it. You could do it.
But did Tessa Desical deserve to get that far on Global All Stars? Like that's the bigger.
You know what? Greg, it worked last time. Let's do it this time. Have her on the pod. Tessa, if you could reach out on here, we could talk Slaycation 2. We could talk whatever you want. We could talk about Global All Stars. Worldwideteapodcast@gmail.com. That's all I can say.
I'm just realizing we didn't ask Van Gogh whether she would be on Slaycation 3 or on Traders Canada. I meant to ask her that
You know
someday.
what? she's just gonna have to be our new permanent guest judge. I think that's she's gonna have to join the panel. She's going to will replace me and not talk about it. It'll be like a whole Brad Goreski situation. It'll be fantastic. But truth be told, again, everyone, for those who've been watching, please listen to our interview with Van Goth. That's on the YouTube. It is real well worth your time. It'll also be on the audios too, on the Spotify and all that stuff. So check it out. Yeah, that's great.
And we may have an interview with Miss Minty Fresh that will be going up at the same time or after. So if you want to hear directly from Minty, by the way, at the time of this recording, we have not recorded it. So if it doesn't happen, it's scheduled to happen. But look on our YouTube channel for that as well. And we will continue to promote in as many ways as we can. So
God, it's almost
like, follow,
yeah.
and also
It's
tell us
almost
what you want to tell us what you want to hear. Like, tell us what you thought about this episode. Are you more into this season than we are? Please share your thoughts.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I don't know if there's a way to. I'm pretty sure Bad Goth follows this podcast now, especially now that she's. Listen, are you better? Are you less than Bad Goth? You can absolutely subscribe too. Come on, for the real, we love it. We love all our guests. We love all the people that we had on before. We're always grateful for these opportunities. And most importantly, we're grateful to you, the fans, who we can clearly see are here, listening, watching. My God, the views on that Melinda Verga interview, crazy, lovely, and thank you so much, everybody, for doing it. Have you not? Greg hasn't checked. Greg's gonna pull it up right now while on camera just to make sure because we want to make sure. Listen, we're very happy with this little incredible group that we have going on. All of y'all listening, it's incredible. Van Gogh, everyone, it's just been an absolute delight to have you all here. And as obviously we even say all this out of respect and love. But truth be told, keep listening because you know that will be. That's what we always do. Take care, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Goodbye.